It's DJ Ash Noble here. Welcome back to another live. This is actually this is actually a late live. Not one that I thought I'd be doing today. Until yesterday, I didn't think I'd be doing this live today, and then obviously earlier on, if you didn't watch the stream earlier on, we unboxed my new Behringer mixer. So that kind of got the priority, pardon, before this stream. Um, but if you are um, watching this stream correctly right now, or even after it's been live, it's aftermath of a last minute gig. And you're probably thinking, hang on a second, aftermath of a gig, aftermath of a last minute gig. There's been no stream on the channel about a last minute gig. There's been no stream or anything to do with a last minute gig. And that's because this is one of the most last minute gigs that I have ever taken in my whole entire music career. So we'll cut the story short and we'll tell the story, or we'll at least try and cut it short. So back in January, you might remember we played for an event called Wizards of the Core, and it was the promoter's birthday, so he put like a Wizards of the Core kind of like a launch night thing on, and there was like myself, the layman, there was Kayleen Scar, there was Bids, there was Deckheads, there was a few people down on the lineup, and essentially I don't think the original venue where that club where that event was hosted. Not even sure if it's even still in business, to be honest. But for whatever reason, the brand moved clubs, and they relaunched last night at a new venue. Now, I knew this event was happening, but I was just, I wasn't, I wasn't booked for it. So, obviously, I'm just chilling yesterday, just chilling as you do. It was a Saturday night, had no gigs on. Didn't go visit the grandparents because the trains were striking, and I was originally going to an event with the layman, and then we just didn't end up going. It wasn't like it was a booked kind of thing. It was just like, we could go down if we wanted to, and we said we'd see how we feel, and then he just felt done in from the gig that we had the day before, which was obviously the movement. So I'm sat at home chilling. I've just eaten a lasagna, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do for the rest of the night? And I'm thinking, going to get a little bit music, later on, and go on FL and stuff, and maybe even I was actually thinking I might go live and spin a few tunes. And then I get a message, probably about 7:30, 7:45, and an MC's let them down at Wizards of the Core. Was there any way I could get there? And at this point, I'm thinking, oh, you're going to be lucky getting me to come all the way to Cleethorpes at such short notice, and obviously trains are striking, and trains, they take like 2 hours to get to Cleethorpes because you've got to go around by Doncaster, and then obviously there's no train back. And I'm thinking, like, what can I do at this point? I say to my mum, I say, look, do you know if there's any way like anybody could get me to Doncaster, or anything like that? So I'm obviously thinking about and looking, is there any way, can we make this happen? That kind of thing. And we just weren't really sure, and the only thing I could really think of, was a taxi. And I'm thinking, well, taxi is going to cost a fair amount of money. So I said, I texted the promoter and I said, look, if you can sort me the taxis out, I'm happy to come and sort of bail you out. But other than that, you've got more or less zero chance of me coming to this event, to be honest. And then I didn't expect it, to be honest, but he actually agreed that he'd sort a taxi out. So I was like, all right. Yeah, if you know, so I rang the taxi and off I was on this taxi to Cleethorpes at like such short notice to come and MC for Wizards of the Core. And I've got to say it was like a last minute thing. It was a really enjoyable night, and I met so many people that I hadn't seen for a while again. I met some new people, and it was really good just to go and see some familiar faces as well. And like I said, there was some people there that I just obviously hadn't seen for a while. So it was nice to go and see them again, and someone turned up that I didn't even expect was going to be there, and that was quite nice. And it was quite nice to just chill for a little bit, because when I see this guy who turned up, normally because it's normally his event where I'm going, where I see him, he's normally like quite busy and he's got this, that, and the other to do, so we don't always just get that chance to obviously come and sort of like chill and talk. He's very busy and he's keeping things going and keeping things running. So it was nice to see him on that, where he's not put the event on himself, so we could chill. So anyway, I went to this event, and they said, like the hardcore and stuff, that's going to start from like 11, so you can MC sort of from there, on any time from there if you want. So I'm like, yeah, cool, that gives me enough time, to obviously get in my taxi and get there. And so I get there anyway, and I get in, and everyone's just like buzzed to see me. It's like I've just come and bailed everyone out. And there was a guy who was already on the lineup for DJing, who had just been grabbing the mic and doing a bit of MCing, but wasn't really that good. And I think people were kind of wanting him to get off the mic, and I think he might have even been told a couple of times, like, put the mic down, give it a rest. And so when I got there, there was like a little bit of a buzz that this, someone who can actually MC in their eyes, God knows how. Can I even MC? That has turned up. So like to save the day. So I jump on a set with a DJ called Woody, DJ Woody, and he goes on from 11 till half 12 and does an hour and a half set. And I've got to say that his set, like, honestly, not gonna lie, absolutely blew me away. It was by far, if not one of, definitely the best set that I've ever MC'd over, and I've MC'd over some good sets over my time. But this was by far definitely one of the best sets that I've ever like MC'd and hosted for. The mixing was second to none. His skills on the decks with the effects was like watching it. It was like watching Andy Whitby, but apart from it was a hardcore set. The guy was all over the mixer. The guy was quick mixing. He was double dropping. He started off with a bit of Makina, but the Makina was like some well-known remixes. And then he sort of went on to sort of like hardcore. And there was just so many good tunes in there. He played some absolute belters, which I was buzzed about, and it was really good. And I was just absolutely buzzed. And then obviously, the whole set just really blew me away. And then Resync, the guy who was on after him, he's kind of wanted me to MC on his set for like so long. He's been like, I want you to MC for me one day. For some reason, he's buzzed off me. I know we used to play on the same like Facebook page together. But yeah, he was just buzzed that I was there. But because I just done this hour and a half set, and it was really warm in the club as well. I was like, I can't just stand on an MC for this guy's whole set. Like, no offences to him, but I've just done an hour and a half, and I need to have a drink and chill. So what I did is I announced, I said big ups to to DJ Woody, make some noise for DJ Woody. Coming up, stepping in. We got the sounds of the resync carrying on the hardcore, and I think I hosted him for about 5 minutes. Just got him set off on his set, and then I went and got myself some water because I was just so thirsty. And then I was thinking I might go back on for a bit, but I just decided to chill for Resync's set. And then the promoter, Mr. JJ Q-Tex, K-Tex, if that's how you pronounce the name, Keytex, however you pronounce it. He was on last. He's the guy, JJ, who runs the event. So I just grabbed the mic a little bit for his set as well, and just went on. But by then it was sort of thinning out. It was coming towards the end of the night. But he did like a really good set himself as well. It was like it was almost like a little mixture of like new hardcore and power stomp, and there was some tunes off of the Aussie 170 label, which they bring out some really good hardcore. Like they've got some tunes that go into some pretty like heavy drops. The only thing I probably would have to say to criticize that label, and I don't like criticizing things, and don't get me wrong, it's a belting label. I've had a few tunes off that label myself in its time, but there's a lot of songs on there that are a little bit like they've kind of got like a real sad, depressing piano and vocal, that then just goes into like a hard style lead, and then sort of drops. And although like some of them leads sound wicked and some of the pianos sound crisp, like hardcore and rave tunes, they've always kind of, I always like songs that give me a happy feel, not necessarily songs that make me sort of like get deep in thought and emotion, and feel upset. I don't even really. I have songs that mean things to me, but a lot of them just make me think of like happy things. I don't think that there really is a song where it's quite a depressing song and it'll make me think about like a bad experience, because not that I mean to boast. I mean, I have been through one or two things, over the time and over my life, but I've never really gone through anything like mega, like mega bad, So I've never really, there isn't. I'd say the worst thing I've probably ever been through, would have been like bullying at school. So like obviously, like there just isn't really like a depressing song that I can really relate to, and I'm just not really into them. I'm just not a fan of songs that give you that like sort of like sad and depressing feel. I like happy songs. I like raving club songs. And some of them new hardcore songs, they've got them like real depressing breakdowns that go into like a deep sort of like hard style lead that then drops. And I think the breakdowns sometimes, just when it's supposed to be like hardcore and raving, just a little bit too sad, I think. I prefer like other bits and bobs. So so I did a little bit on the last set, and then obviously my taxi came. So taxi came for me, to take me home, and I was back home by about somewhere like just after 4, I think, about maybe 5 past 10 past 4. Quite hungry, quite ready for bed, as well. So I had a drink, and then got myself ready for bed. And stuff like that. But like I say, all in all, it was just an absolutely really fun event, to be honest. And to say it was like like I say, to say it was, like a last minute thing, it really did, it did well. to say it was like a last minute thing. And like I say, I really enjoyed myself. It just kind of sorted my Saturday night out, really, from sort of like sitting at home just chilling, which probably wouldn't have been a bad thing, because I do a lot of things and I often have a lot of late nights and I'm here, there, and everywhere. But because you are here, there, and everywhere all the time, like when you do sort of like finally like have that night of like sitting down and chilling, I kind of think like that's boring. Like I kind of think like because I kind of like sit and chill during the weekdays, and I sit on my PC during the week, and I go on FL during the week, and I do other bits and bobs during the week. I kind of think, I don't really want to do that on the weekend. I want to kind of like I want to go raving on the weekend, and like I say, I was gonna go and visit me nan originally, which was that was the original plan, when I found out that we wasn't gonna go to this event. So then I was like, I'll do that, and then obviously the trains were striking, so I thought maybe it's just a sign, Noble, that you need to chill yourself. But no, then obviously I obviously just got that opportunity to really gig, and I was just quite happy, really, with what happened. It was mad. It was honestly, it was a crazy feeling. It really was a crazy feeling. To think that has obviously happened. Obviously just crazy. Absolutely. But yeah, it was an enjoyable vibe. Like I say, met some, well, reunited, I suppose, with some people that, I just hadn't seen in a while. It was quite good, just to have a little catch up with them and see them people, which was really good. And it just made a really little enjoyable night. So big ups to JJ for the booking, as always. Again, it sort turned me sort of like bored Saturday night into like, oh, I'm gonna go into a nightclub and hear some banging tunes, and with Woody's set. That's exactly what I did. I went there and heard all these amazing remixes and all these amazing songs, and just absolutely fantastic. And I'm just stood there, and it wasn't the most busiest night on earth, but I'm stood there, I'm looking out to the crowd, and the people that are in the club, and the tunes are going, and the DJ's mixing to me at the side, and I'm looking at the decks, and I'm thinking like, I do that as well. And then I'm thinking I'm here on the mic, and I'm quite buzzed off of it, to be fair, and I'm kind of like, do you know what? Like I'm so like I love what I do, like music wise, like whether it is actually jumping onto FL Studio, or whether it's obviously going out to a nightclub, and doing what you love in the nightclub, and that kind of thing. And the fact that I look up at the wall and I see these flyers where my name has been on it, from like I say, from Wizards of the Core to Stomfest, from Stomfest to Bounce to Your Drop, and then Bounce to Your Drop to the DNAs last year, and some of the Stompings as well. And obviously, the Tosh did the Clubland Vibes, which they're still doing them. I've just not yet gone back and played for them yet, because they've not asked. And if they don't ask, they don't get. But no, they've been putting some other people on, which is fair enough. It's cool, it's good. There was also a Bounce Force as well. There was obviously Noble and the Gang. Remember Noble and the Gang? If you did wonder what happened to that kind of the band kind of died. So if you don't know what happened with the band, if you don't know how the band worked, so essentially when I was going to Goodwin, before I got my job there, I think was it somewhere like February, March time, they started up a session called Music Lab again. and I obviously at the time I was just going to Goodwin itself that was helping me get a job, and all the rest of it. And cut the long story short, I started going to this music lab and doing some things on the mic. And then a few other people also came along to these sessions as well. And these sessions became repetitive. There was every Tuesday, and we had quite a group of good people that was coming to the music lab. So we kind of like formed a little band called Noble and the Gang. And obviously through music lab, like a lot of people that was coming were like unemployed people, and people that could commit to coming. And then obviously as the months went by, people got jobs, and things changed for people. So slowly a few numbers dropped from music lab as people obviously they couldn't commit anymore. And then obviously I got the job at Goodwin itself. And Music Lab as a matter of fact, it has actually started back up. So Noble and the Gang, there's a possibility that it could reunite. But whether it actually goes as Noble and the Gang or not is just another thing. But what I do want to say on behalf of Noble and the Gang, that it was like a really fun thing to do. It was really enjoyable, and even though obviously I'm not a rock band member myself. Do you know what I mean? I'm an hardcore bouncer. I'm a club raver. Do you know what I mean? Um, I was hardly ever gonna, go rocking out on tour. I don't think. I wasn't really built for that kind of thing. But was doing a few little projects through Music Lab, and we're still doing some now. The new sessions. You can come down obviously if you're between 16 and 29. And we are rocking out some tunes. We're doing some pretty good stuff. We've got a nice track on the go at the moment, actually called "Feel This Moment" with a nice rap in it. Which, by the way, it's got nothing to do with a tune out there that's called "Feel the Moment." If you remember it, Pitbull and Christy, is it Christiana Aguilera or something like that? And I got the inspiration from it, but our version is nothing like theirs. Like, I guess the only thing that you could really relate to that song is the chorus. Is quite similar, but it's kind of a lot different as well. So her chorus is like um, um, and one day when the light is glowing, I'll be in my castle golden. And then ours is like, I just wanna feel the moment. I just wanna feel the moment. I wanna live right in this moment. So we sing it quite a bit differently. And then like a rap and stuff comes in about. Don't you know life is life is temporary. Don't you know life is temporary, so why should you live it so ordinary? Every day is what you make of it. Imagine if you had a tape of it. I wish I could rewind, go back in time, press play, press stop, and hit the jackpot. And then there was something else, and then another guy, my other co-worker Cameo, comes in with a bit of a rap as well. So but yeah, we're doing things music lab related. But going back to it, with all these posters on the wall and stuff. I mean, who would have thought like a couple of years ago, like you're gonna warm up for people like Ian Van Dal and Public Domain and Scott Brown, and people that I've listened to for years. And songs that have been big songs, and then obviously having Kelly Lorena take over your set as well is like quite a an astounding achievement as well. Quite a good thing, most definitely. So to be on that wavelength of being able to look back and say these have happened, and by all means this is not me like rubbing it in, because a lot of people they who get jealous, they think, oh, you're rubbing it in, but it's not. It's just you know, when you do well for yourself, it's nice to share your achievements. Like, you know, you get a booking and then the flyer comes out and you share the flyer on Facebook. You know, it's sharing your achievement. It's also announcing for people that maybe might want to come and see you play. Look, I'm here if you want to come. But people who, for some reason, get bitter and jealous, you know, they're like, you know, like, oh, you know, get wound up and jealous and, or, you know, we're gonna, how do you unfollow people and stuff like that. And I just think, do you know what, like, you know, if you don't want to see my achievements, unfollow me. If you're offended by my achievements, if you're offended that I'm doing well, or the fact that I haven't taken you with me, when it's not even my, you know, like if you get booked for an event on like a real level, you know, you can't just say to the promoter, put this guy on as well, put this guy on as well. You know, I ain't playing unless you put this guy on. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, by all means, like if they go like, you know, we're gonna put another event on. Is there anybody you can think of who would, you know, who might do this event? Then I can go, oh well, yeah, you know, there is a guy actually who would probably do it. He'd be buzzed to do it. He's quite a good DJ himself. He's done quite a few things himself. You know, this is his name, blah blah blah. Hit him up, but you know, especially as well, like when you're playing an event and you're playing a completely different genre that your friend doesn't even play, and then they'd go like, "Oh, that's too slow for me," or "That's too cheesy for me." You know, then obviously you aren't gonna put them forward. You know, if they're playing hardcore at like 180 and they don't play bounce, you aren't gonna put them forward for a donk night. Do you know what I mean? But then they get like, "Oh, because you know you don't take me along on your ride," but. You know, and part of it as well is you know you've got to put work in yourself. You know, you've got to show people yourself what you can do. You know, and you know, people aren't going around and telling other people what I can do. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. The layman often puts in a good word for me, and sometimes you know if he can get me a booking, he will. But I still do a lot of the work myself. Or you know, like these streams, I know like thousands of people don't exactly watch them, but it's you know people can come on the channel and they can say, oh look, he's played here, he's played there, and you know I go live once a week. You know I'm pushing myself and I'm keeping myself, you know, as active as I can be, and I'm entering competitions, and you know I'll speak to promoters myself and go and support the events. Which you know I've said this in streams before that you know going to an event and showing your face and supporting the night and you know sharing the night is like one of the best things you can do. You know because if you're out there and you're a part of the scene, like a part of the scene is not just DJing yourself, and it's not just about the stuff that you're doing. You know it is about sharing other people's mixes, or if someone say you know someone your friend or someone has a track out, you know, and you like the tune, it's going out there and sharing it, or even buying it. Do you know what I mean? Buy the tune and support it. I know they think like, oh, 250 a tune, but you know, you don't have to do it all the time. You don't have to be up people's asses or up labels' asses and buy everything that comes out. But you know, just now and again, if you hear a tune you like, support it, buy it, share it, say, look, I've just bought this tune, gonna play it in my sets, and it's a banging tune, make sure you buy it. You know, you're active and you're current, you're supporting the scene, you're supporting the producers, you know, that are playing, or even if you haven't bought the tune, just share the link and say it's banging if you've listened to the preview. Do you know what I mean? You've got to put work in yourself. Um, you know. But there we go. Like I say, it's crazy. So Wizards of the Core last night, absolutely booting. It was going off, trust me. Love it. Loved every minute of it. Until next time, who knows? Make sure to like, comment, share. Peace.